This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, and yes, we're still in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada at our broadcast center and broadcasting around the world on the X-Zone Broadcast Network and our family of broadcast affiliates and satellite distribution companies worldwide. If you'd like to give us a call, 1-800-610-7035. Email is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On all major and minor social media network sites, one simple address, X-Zone Radio TV, and our website. Yes, you've got it by now, X-Zone Nation, www.xzoneradiotv.com. My guest this hour is Susan Liberty Hall, and she's the author of a book entitled, Ha! I Laugh in the Face of Cancer. Now, Susan Hall, who claims to be 69, but I've been talking to her before the show, and I think she's a little off on the age. I don't put her more than 45. Claims to be a grandmother, former Playboy bunny, author of Ha! I Laugh in the Face of Cancer, and Scented Adventures of the Bouquet Sisters in Fairyland. She healed herself from cancer with Native American formula. Her brother, LA Lakers owner Jerry Buss, also was diagnosed with cancer at the same time and chose conventional treatments. His suffering and ultimately death inspired Susan to write her book in his honor. Susan lives and plays in Phoenix, Arizona. Joining me now from Phoenix, Arizona, is Susan Liberty Hall. And Susan, I talked to you before on air, and come on, you're not 69. You only sound as if you're 45 at the most.
Oh, Rob, you're wonderful. Well, it's all the good living, so that's right. I'm 69. I was 69 on May 28th.
Well, belated happy birthday.
Thank you.
Susan, I love the title of your book. It is an inspiration just to say, Ha! I laugh in the face of cancer. Tell me about your cancer.
Thank you. All right. So then in June of 2012, April, both my brother Jerry and I were both diagnosed with cancer. It was strange because it was the exact same moment that we both found out we had cancer. He had abdomen cancer, and he chose to do an aggressive chemotherapy as if more was better. He did a surgery. In the surgery, there was an error in the surgery. In the next 5 surgeries and 4 procedures, 9 in all were meant to try to correct that original error, and it was never corrected. He started going downhill immediately. It was very terrible to see. At the same time he made that choice, he was hoping and thinking that as my big brother, I would follow his lead and have the mastectomy, the chemo, and the radiation as he was doing in that conventional treatment. But I couldn't do it, Rob. I could not do it because our mother had died when she was only 62. She had cancer, and it was horrendous with the chemo and everything that she did, following the same path. So I knew that I couldn't do it.
I have to ask you, when did you make the decision to walk away from traditional medicine, and how did you get involved with the Native American formula that ultimately cured you of cancer?
Yes, this is an amazing story. It's my favorite story of my life. Well, I actually decided when my mother died in 1977 that I could never do that, realizing that I had her DNA and that I might possibly get cancer. I began looking for natural ways of healing cancer. Along that way, I found Young Living essential oils. I became very healthy. I started my own Young Living business, which is very successful, my Company of Angels. And then, so when I was diagnosed with cancer, the one thing I knew is I couldn't do the chemo or the mastectomy. So when I told my brother that I couldn't do it, he was very worried for me. He was upset. And I remember thinking that I was also very worried for his choice because I knew where his choice would lead. And he thought he knew where my choice would lead. So basically I had to tell him I couldn't do it. I explained it carefully by saying, because for those of you who know about my brother, he was one of the most brilliant men you've ever met, not only in business, but he was also a professor of chemistry at the University of Southern California. So I explained to him that I know that you are brilliant, Jerry, but nature is also brilliant. And
That's
so
right.
with that, Rob, I didn't know what I was going to do. I remember leaving him, coming home, wondering what I would do for this cancer. My first choice would have been to go to the Young Living Clinic that's in Ecuador because they use essential oils, and I would prefer to have gone there. That was my first choice, but it was very expensive, and I did not have the money necessary to go to such a place. Now, my brother would have done anything for me, but he did not believe that that was something that would heal me, so I couldn't ask him.
All right, what we have to do here, Susan, we have to take a bit of a cliffhanger. I have to
yeah.
take a 2-minute commercial break. Great having you with us, Susan. I love your spirit. I love your enthusiasm, and I love the fact that you, to this very day, help people. You're a great lady.
I do. I love it, Rob.
All right, stand by, my friend. You and I will be back on the other side of this 2-minute commercial break as the X Zone continues with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Visit Sue online at www.ILaughInTheFaceOfCancer.com. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Don't go away. Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifeology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Named one of the world's greatest psychics, Elizabeth Joyce is now giving readings worldwide via Skype. Elizabeth Joyce is recognized for her clairvoyant ability to help find missing persons, her analysis of dreams, past life regression work, mediumship, and her accurate predictions. Elizabeth has been a frequent guest on the X Zone radio show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, now for several years. For an appointment with Elizabeth Joyce, call 201-934-8986 or Skype at elizabeth.joyce. And for more information, you can always visit Elizabeth Joyce online at www.new-visions.com.
Do you have a dis-ease that you would like to alleviate through a natural means? Have you been contacted by angels, ghosts, or even extraterrestrials and want to validate these experiences? Or would you simply like to speak with someone who can help you find your life's purpose? I'm Dr. Joseph Mara, and I'm offering my services free of charge for first-time clients contacting me during the month of April. These free consultations include angel card readings, guided meditations, life coaching, and energy healing. If you have always wanted to explore these types of experiences but were skeptical or simply could not afford them, then take advantage of this free special offer. Contact me through my website, a guiding light, spelled LITE.com, to schedule your consultation today. Until then, I offer you love, light, and laughter.
Exonation, my guest this hour is Susan Liberty Hall. She's the author of Ha! I Laugh in the Face of Cancer. Her website is www.ilaughinthefaceofcancer.com. Susan, before we went to the commercial break, you were telling us that you and your brother were diagnosed with cancer at the same time. Your brother decided to take the recognized Western medical procedures, and you didn't want to take that. You found a place in Ecuador that used essential oils, but you just couldn't get down there. You would have, your brother who loved you with all his heart would have done anything for you, but you knew and respected his feelings about the alternative methods of curing cancer, and instead of asking him for his help, which I'm sure he would have done in the blink of an eye, in the beat of a heart, you decided to respect his ways. And what happened from that point?
Well, you're exactly right. Well, I didn't know what to do. It was very frightening. I went home. I could not go to Ecuador. It was way too expensive. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know what I was going to do. So I sat down and I did a prayer. And I asked our God, what can I do to save my life from this cancer? And it was very profound, because in that instant, I stood up, I walked over to my office, I went into the file cabinet. Under C, I pulled out a file marked cancer that I had put there 15 or 20 years ago. Truly, I had forgotten all about it. I hadn't seen it. I was astounded, and I opened up the file, and there was a flyer for an American Indian herbal remedy called Two Feathers Healing Formula. And there was also a picture there, a photo of a man who had what appeared to be a wound in his chest. Mm-hmm. And next to him, there was a table with 8 tumors that he claimed had been taken out of his body using this Two Feathers Healing Formula. It was shocking to see. But I had to remember it was the answer to my prayer. I had to be obedient. So I called the phone number, not even understanding if someone would be there after 20 years, but Robert Roy answered the phone. He is the guardian or the distributor of the formula. And I told him about my situation. I ordered a jar, and it was $134.95. It came very quickly, and I got started immediately using the formula. It's an American Indian herbal remedy which was given by a medicine man, handed down from generation to generation, a combination of 17 herbs and minerals, all natural product. So anyway, I had no idea if this was going to help me. So I began taking it. I had 2 tumors the size of marbles on my breast, and 1 tumor that was benign. And so after 14 days of taking this formula twice daily internally, 1 of the 2 tumors collapsed on the 14th day. I woke up and it was gone. I couldn't see it. I couldn't feel it. 3 days later, the second tumor collapsed. It was also gone. It was astounding. I called Robert Roy to ask what does this mean, and he explained that it's very possible that the cancer is dead. It's no longer attached to my living tissue, and now would be the time that we will put a little bit of formula on the tumor site and begin to pull out those tumors. So this is a shocking thing, I know, for your listening audience, but it was the absolute God's truth. It opened up a wound in 2 days, and I could actually see the tumor. It was a white-gray, spongy-looking kind of thing. I believe that cancer is a fungus. It looked like a fungus, and it was big. So I continued taking the formula internal twice a day, and I continued putting the formula on the tumor site. And it was very painful because this was an open wound on my breast. 14 days later, to the day, that first tumor fell out. It simply fell out.
Wow.
Yeah. So then I thought, I have to measure this thing. I have to put it in a specimen jar, and obviously I have to write a book.
Sure.
Because